So this is a fun situation that kind of shows how some realtors are super shady. Um, so this is one of my clients' house. They actually bought it before I was even licensed, so I was not involved. Um, Tenant basically noticed that the water was leaking from where the washing machine sits in the laundry room. Interesting stuff that we started uncovering here. You see the foam. So before the house was sold, I'm pretty sure they were already aware of the leak. And so basically right here, of course we made the hole penetration into the slab here and there. But that was basically one thing that was blocking water seepage coming from the busted pipe. And then on top of that, they filled it with foam. And so if anything was coming out, it was very minimal. But it took years before it got substantially worse. And it was actually coming out to where it was very visible and noticeable. So something that we did, because the access is not the best here, plus also everything is entangled with hot and cold water supply lines. So access from here is really not the best. And then the only other alternative would be, to have better access is to basically like dig a huge freaking hole in the slab here and go underneath, which is not ideal. So because there's another drain pipe here that is actually serving the kitchen sink, what initially we tried, and basically if you're running just the sink faucet in the kitchen, there's absolutely no water coming out. I guess just because it's steady flow and probably is not enough for the overflow, so to speak. So we thought, well, since there's no visible leak when you're running the water into this drain pipe on the right, maybe we just create another access point to basically relocate the drainage for the washing machine to the right side. Realized quickly that it's the same situation, and I'm sure it has to do with how much water is being dumped and how quick. So again, if you're running just the kitchen sink here, there's absolutely no issues. Once you start dumping a lot of water, like washing machine load, the water starts coming out from here again. Fun stuff. We decided not to go, and bust this whole huge hole here to go underneath. We just decided to take apart the bottom of the kitchen cabinet on the other side and try that way. I will post, our success story once it's completed, or if we decide to go a different route. Obviously, I'll tell you what we decided to do. But all of this is just a fun reminder about knowing what you're getting into, using the best realtors that also know their stuff, and inspect even if it's a new build, because I've seen way too many issues that people walking into, and it's okay to walk into possible issues as long as you get a good justification in terms of credit or a better price, because if you don't address that and you have to eventually spend a lot of your own money to fix this kind of messes, I can guarantee you are not going to be very successful long term. And the second thing that's kind of a good testimony is that how some realtors are really, really shady, because like I said, this foam is basically, proof that they were aware of it. They patched it up and just sold it to not mess with it, to make matters worse, of course, I'm not going to drop any names, but the listing agent on this property was actually a mother of the seller. Fun stuff, isn't it? So, like I said, once we have a little more to report, I will tell you as far as our further findings and how we combat the issue. But definitely pick your realtors good, because some of them are real shady.